Yo, what's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Yes, indeed. Back giving y'all some more of this real talk. Now, this right here is with this dude, Myron Gaines. Actually, he's on, um, what is his man's name? Piers Morgan Uncensored show. Now, I knew he had his feelings towards black people. I already knew that. I knew that. But I never knew, and I really do mean I never knew, that he was as racist as he is. I never knew that. And you guys are about to see what I mean. And before I even play that, okay, this dude is from, he has the Fresh and Fit podcast. And he has another brother that is his host as well. And just to say, man, just to say, okay, I don't see how any brother can host any show, any podcast with Myron after hearing this. Okay? All money ain't good money, brother. I want you to understand that. All money ain't good money. And I also want the people that's listening to me to understand you can be a field, you know what I'm saying, and not be for your people. I want people to understand. Nat Turner was told on by a field, you know what. Did you understand did you hear what I said? Nat Turner was told on by a field, you know what. And there's a lot of field, you know what, that want to be house ones. And like I said to this brother, damn Myra, you showing what you about, showing how your thought process is, whether people are gonna believe what you say or not. You're showing, like I say, your actions showing what you really believe. Check out what he say though. Listen to this here.
And Metcalf situation is a microcosm of a much bigger problem. For decades, we've had black people literally running around with black supremacy, committing crimes, not getting accountability for their actions, and then they blame the system for it. The reality is this: black people have been able to get away with a ridiculous amount of privilege in America for a very long time. They're able to be racist with impunity. They're able to call white people crackers without being challenged back. For literally the better part of almost 2 decades since the Obama era, we've had to have BLM and liberalism shoved down our throats, and quite frankly, we're all tired of it.
Let me bring in Myron Gaines, because you've been.
Hold on. Before I get to playing this, this is with him speaking his mind and showing how much of a coon he is. But the lady's name is Shiloh. I can't think of her last name. But she called a 5-year-old autistic black child the N-word. And she's getting paid for saying, I'm not going to say what she said, but she's making over $500,000, if not more, from being racist and saying racist things. But this is about me hearing what Myron has to say. Regardless of what this Shiloh lady says, okay, I'm not even stunned by that. I'm stunned by what Myron says. Listen.
Smirking and laughing. What's funny about any of this?
Well, I mean, I find it interesting that you guys want to virtue signal and, wag the finger and say she's a racist and everything else like this.
No, she admitted she's a racist.
Well, let me
I'm not wagging a finger at anybody.
She's
I don't need to
but
Myron, with respect, Myron, I don't need to wag a finger when somebody says, yeah, I'm racist, I use the N-word against black people, I don't care. That's a racist. I'm not wagging any finger. I'm not accusing anybody. She is admitting it proudly. Even you can't defend that, surely.
Everybody is racist to some degree. The reality is it depends on, a lot of people want to be politically correct. A lot of people want to sit there and say, I'm not racist at all. We all have biases. We all have stereotypes. We all make jokes. We all are racist to some degree. Now, how racist you are is a whole other situation, but everyone is racist. That's number one. Next thing I want to say, see, I think this Shiloh, Hendrickson, Metcalf situation is a microcosm of a much bigger problem. And that bigger problem is what I call systemic organized. And what I mean by this is for decades, we've had black people literally running around with black supremacy, committing crimes, not getting accountability for their actions, and then they blame the system for it. For example, George Floyd, criminal. Ferguson, criminals. Freddie Gray, criminal. A lot of these people are criminals, and what ends up happening is they challenge the police officer, they get into a physical altercation, things go left, they die, something happens, use of force is utilized, and then they want to cry about the result. When in reality, it's not the police killing black people, it's black people killing black people. And if you want to talk about black on white violence, black people kill white people 2 times as much. And on top of that, most of the...
Hold up. Just what he's already said is ridiculous to me, okay? It truly is ridiculous. Because now white people aren't killing blacks. Are you hearing what he's saying? And the fact that he's put George Floyd and those other 2 men involved, regardless of whether they were criminals or not, they were sought out because they were black men. It's just that simple. And using deadly force. 2 different things. They weren't detained. They were assaulted. Just be real.
Shootings in America, a lot of the times, are white people killing, white cops killing other unarmed white men. So this whole systemic racism or police brutality or, oh, it's all so messed up. The reality is this. Black people have been able to get away with a ridiculous amount of privilege in America for a very long time. They're able to be racist with impunity. They're able to call white people crackers without being challenged back. And quite frankly, white America's had enough of it, and the chickens have come to roost. Now, look, am I saying that's awesome? Am I saying that's great? No, but for literally the better part of almost 2 decades since the Obama era, we've had to have BLM and liberalism shoved down our throats, and quite frankly, we're all tired of it.
Right, but just to be clear, you would have no problem with one member of this panel openly saying she uses the N-word at black people with impunity and is proud of being a racist. You have no problem with that?
My worldview on the protection of the First Amendment and freedom of speech overrides my personal feelings. She has the right to say
That's fine. You can support the First Amendment, but you can also have a personal view about what she said.
My feelings are irrelevant. The Constitution is the Constitution. That's what matters.
Oh, that's fascinating. Hold on. So when it comes to chastising black Americans about their behavior, about calling white people crackers, as you say, about their moral claims, about the racist system, you can levy a judgment against black Americans for all the things they do. But when it comes to this woman saying the N-word and this other woman endorsing it and saying that she herself uses the N-word, now all of a sudden we can only talk about the Constitution and the legal right. We can't offer any moral judgment against it. That's disingenuous. And it's as the only black American up here, that's quite frustrating to hear.
If you want to be soft and get offended by that, that's your fucking problem, not mine.
Let me ask Ricky.
Let me ask Ricky. This isn't about being soft any more than when you were desperately saving these white people.
Hold on. This sensitive nature that you have is precisely why we have this problem.
It's not about being sensitive. It's about I didn't articulate. Hold on. Let me finish, Myron. Let me speak and then I'll let you respond. Myron, sure. I didn't articulate any sensitivity here. What I said, in the same way that you levied a judgment against black people, I'm levying one against the claims you're making. I'm no more sensitive than you were when you made your claim. I'm simply saying I disagree with you. And to immediately jump to you're being sensitive is just a distraction. I'm making an argument here. Just respond to my argument.
No, and my argument to respond to that is this. Political correctness, liberalism, and making sure that we are politically correct and don't use certain words to offend people is precisely why we're in the situation that we're in. For decades, we've had to literally tiptoe around saying certain things around certain people while the other group of people has been able to have impunity and be able to be as racist as they want to be, as violent as they want to be, without any type of consequence. And if you call it out, you're labeled a racist. The reality is this. Black people don't want to live around black people. I don't want to live around a bunch of black people. I move to neighborhoods where it's majority white because I know I'm safe. Now, this is uncomfortable reality that no one wants to say, so I'll say it for them. Black people commit a lot of crimes. A majority of the violent crime committed in the United States is committed by a small percentage of people, and they tend to be black men. Look, the reality is the reality. People don't want to say it, but the political correctness and being nice and not wanting to tell the truth is precisely this problem. And the reason why you're seeing all the support for Metcalf and Shiloh, etc., is because white people have not been able to step up and say what they want to say for a very long time because of what I said before, systemic, organized, where they don't take accountability for their decisions.
Let me bring in Ricky.
Now, that's pretty much all I need to hear from him. Okay, it's probably a good 15 minutes more. But I wanted to address and show, okay? I wanted to address and show how Myron is not for black people at all. So I don't understand how he has a black host, co-host, or whatever, with this Fresh and Fit. I don't know if they're hosting it together or not. I don't know. But I used to watch this a lot. I mainly start watching it when, rest in peace to that brother, Kevin Samuels was living. But I don't understand, okay? And I'm not going to totally down this brother that he's hosting it with. But at the same token, like I said before, all money ain't good money, brother. All money ain't good money. Your morals alone. Did you hear what I said? You shouldn't be co-hosting with him. Just your morals alone. And I saw how I did not know he was this racist toward black people. I didn't know that until I saw the video, or however you want to choose it, with him on Pierre Morgan's Uncensored show. And it's sad, man. It's truly sad, because I actually thought he was okay. He had his racist views, but like he said, though, which that was true, everyone does to some degree. Everyone does to some degree, okay? That's just facts. That's real. That's honest. That's being real, okay? Majority of people do have their views to some degree. But I want to put a little knowledge on his head, which I'm pretty sure he already knows. He's just cooning heavily. That, okay, this is not white people's country, okay? It's not. They came over here, okay? Big difference. They came from Europe over here, and it was people already here, okay? Even before the Pilgrims, but just let's go to the Pilgrims, okay? They were here before the Europeans came over here. But what did they do? They colonized the people that were here, okay? If you read any books, there's too many books that address how black people were already here in so-called America before white people ever were thought about being here. So I just never thought, I never knew, Myron, that you were as racist as you are, okay? I never knew that. I do now, though. I actually do now. And I'm going to consistently address it. It's sad. And especially when, okay, you probably still do. Okay, your podcast is based upon talking down on women. And yet you're on Pierre Morgan defending a racist woman. Okay? You talk down on women for not being too bright in the things they do, but then you big up this white woman on Pierre Morgan's show for calling a 5-year-old autistic child the N-word, that's contradictory to the way you claim you are on Fresh and Fit. And like I said before, okay, brother, the brother that you on there with, that hosts with you, hey man, your morals need to be shown. Okay, your morals need to be shown. You should be addressing what's going on. That's crazy. And like I said again, all money ain't good money. You look real weak right now, brother. You look real weak. But y'all share, like, and subscribe. Peace. I'm up out of here.